Hello everyone, welcome to Gwent again. And last time on Gwent, I showed you the Shoop deck that I used to get the most wins last season. I showed you the Skellige deck, which I used to get the second most, and I showed you the Faltis control deck, which performed surprisingly well. And those are three decks that did really well for me. Now it's time to show you the experimental decks, which didn't do as well. Hope you enjoy Elves! So this deck is based around the idea that, oh god, I can't even remember her name. Filianor? Hang on, what the heck is her name? Francisca Findevar. Francisca Findevar is a magic user, and there's a couple of really awesome spells in this. And I was thinking, you know, let's improve them. Let's make them awesome. Let's make a Aglaeus deck. And the Aglaeus decks are not that good, it turns out. In fact, I probably should take out the Thunderbolt. I think I actually took out Aglaeus because I was just so unhappy with how she was performing, even though she was the star of the deck. So right now, Findevar is not performing very well. But the core of the deck was getting Garrison, and then putting it on top of... Oh, no, I do have Aglaeus in the deck. Awesome. And then putting it on Synthesis. I'm going to try and say that again. Synthesis. You can read it. In order to make it so that he's immune, I can remove the immunity for one turn. I basically pump him up as much as possible, and that way the opponent can't kill me unless he uses a Scorch. This opponent is a Woodland Spirit, which means he doesn't use a Scorch in his deck. It's too expensive, and it's too likely that it will just be a dead card in his deck. So I can pump this up without worrying about how that will hurt me. For now, I'm going to use these. Yeah, the idea behind this deck is I'm going to get last play, hopefully, and then I'll pump Aglaeus up as high as possible. Unless, of course, it is a deck that I'm worried about him killing it, which I very much am. Most of the big boys deck run at least one kill, and this deck was made, this was probably the earliest, no, this was the earliest deck that I made to compete in Grandmaster. I just haven't altered it since. So it was before I had any real philosophy about deck making. And I probably shouldn't play it for you now, but I'd feel bad talking about all the decks that I used in Grandmaster without talking about the first one that I used to get up to the top. This was actually made when the Witchers were still at 4 strength at the top, and was doing quite well. Yes, I realize that means I probably should have been using different kinds of decks. I probably should have killed that thing, because that's just going to get stronger over time. Or I could put it in other row. That's another possibility. Didn't think about that until just now. I'll do that. Is there any reason for me to save it? So this looks like a pretty standard big boys deck. A standard big boys deck, I need to have a kill card. I have a kill card, which is this one right here. I also have the Wrath in my hand, so that should be pretty good. And I think I will actually produce a thing that's bigger than him. I can't think of a single card in his deck that I actually want to lock, with the exception of maybe this or another card like it. Interesting. So, nonetheless, I don't see any need to dedicate to this to me now, so I'll play this here. And I'm going to play this next turn to kill it. That way I won't have to worry about it. Hopefully he's not running any cards like this. Oh, and the way that these work, these power up Aglaeus by double. So they're they're an 8 strength card that's effectively worth... Oh my god. Ooh, this is such a good time to use Lacerate. They're an 8 strength card that's effectively worth 12. So they're not bad. Oof. The question is, do I want to kill it with this? If I kill it with this, that's 4 points. That'll get me down to 20. That'll get me down to 13. I can use Chironex on one of those right there, and that'll be 8. So 4 plus 8, that's 12. That'll be enough to win if he chooses to give up right now. If I choose to use this right now, that is 7 points. Yeah, so I want to kill this. Reach 2. Yeah, let's just go here. I just don't want him growing on me. And I can always move it, providing that I can win if I move the creatures. I'm happy. Shouldn't have hit this one so hard. Should have waited for something better to come up. If I had done that, I probably could have hurt the one that was here and not worried too much about it. But then I wouldn't have got the bonus like I did. That said, it wasn't worth it in the end because of this guy anyways. Looks like he's trying to decide whether he wants to just power up or not. And now he probably will. Yeah. So, okay. If I play this, and I move this here, That's effectively a 2 points, so that's a 15-point play. I need 16 points at least. Interesting. So I'm actually boned. Hang on. I'm boned unless I play this, I think, because 5 isn't enough, but 8 plus 8 is. That's 16. Oh, but that's 16 dead on. I think I just need to pass. I should have played this last turn. I should have thought further ahead. Damn. That's why forethought is so important. Difference of 1 point would have changed this. Oh well. That's Gwent, and that's my mistakes. Two, a 3. So this deck has the same problem as the Shoop deck, which is variance, but it doesn't have as much of a payoff. The biggest thing that I can get is an Aglaeus and a Garrison, which is essentially a point dump of significant margins. Okay, so he's playing this out, so he's probably actually going to go for a big kill, which is not very good for me. I'm going to play that Thunderbolt. If he plays a artifact killer, obviously I'll feel terrible.
A lesson in humility
Coming now. Alright. So he's chosen to go for a interesting maneuver. Alright. I decide what to do at this point. This is the most obvious play. So I guess I'm doing this. He might 2-0 me. This deck is bad enough. And I have nothing that can kill it. Nothing. This deck's variance is the reason why it's so bad. More than anything else. If I play this, I've pretty much given up. But I have to. I say if I play this, I've pretty much given up on getting a Aglaeus super strong, is what I meant to complete that sentence with. If he uses Geralt, I've just lost. He could also use Immerless Wrath. And now I'm equally boned. Oh, I should have used If I played the Say Synthesis here, I could have made it work. Yeah, because then there's no way he would have been able to counter it. I could have waited for a turn, then played both of these on it, and got out scot-free. Since I didn't do that, I'm not going to get ahead. That's a shame. Well, I'll never be able to compete with this at this point, so I think that playing this and moving him is fine. I think I've already lost, but let's give it a shot. Let's see what he does. Yep. So I can play this and this. So let's see. I need to go down a card in order to win. If I play this, it's 8, and then I need to play this twice and use my special ability. For a total of 24. So I guess I gotta do that. He's pretty much won already. That's okay. Let's do this and see if I can win out in the end. He is an 8-point lead and a card lead on me. And he's playing last. So he has... I would give him an estimate of a 25-point advantage. I'm not sure if I even have 25 points. But let's give it a shot. Let's see what will happen. Yeah, I think I'll make a video next week on what I think is a good deck and why this doesn't fit into it. Let's get rid of you. Yeah. The chances of me getting a Glace are too low. I need her in order to make this deck work, and the deck doesn't work unless I get her. This deck will work once the new changes come, where you get 3 draws per phase. At that point, the chances of me getting a Glass will be upwards of 80%, I think, if I can retool this deck and have a couple more draws. So this deck will work then, but until that day, it's worthless. I'm surprised I won as much as I did. Like, you can pretty much see that the opponent is outpowering me, and I'm having to be very clever just to keep up. And, like, little mistakes are causing me severe problems. Yep, this is a good big player. If I was playing a big deck, I would do the same thing. This is a deck that I cannot interact with. So, yeah.
Onward, Fryhead!
Put this here.
Slaughter them to a man!
I mean, I could have just not done that, because then I could have used him. Actually, that was dumb. Not as dumb as I thought, because he was just going to kill her anyways. I should probably just give up at this point. It's just not in me, because what if he lost power? And besides, we're going to be playing our cards so much anyways. Not really a good reason to, because it's going to go quickly. It was a game like Overwatch. I think that the time that you got back might be worth surrendering. Likewise, if I was playing a deck in this game that was like particularly long, I think that the time back would be worth it, because it might increase my win rate over the amount of time I have for a single play session. But in Gwent, it's harder to justify, because it's very rare that decks so will work out that way. He managed to win 2 cards in his hand. Damn, he got an achievement for that. Master Tactician. Anyways, the biggest thing that this deck is missing is consistency, as well as it's too dedicated to its finisher, so if I don't draw the finisher, it just dies. And it needs to be able to fight on all 3 rounds, and the best way it can do that is by having more control cards, a way to kill big creatures. I would say at least 2 methods of killing big creatures, at least one of which is not as dependent upon killing big creatures, if possible. So less variance, more kill creatures, more consistent win condition, and a way of killing a bunch of little weenie dudes. And that would make this deck better. This is, again, one of the first decks that I made. It's already lowered my score by 8 this round, so I'll need to work harder with Scoia'tael, but I'm probably going to need to work even harder for my monsters, which you'll now see. Okay, everyone. Welcome to Monsters. You've seen us fight the monsters, now let's see us be the monster. Now this deck has one big weakness, and that is decks that pump out a bunch of dudes, specifically Zoltan decks or Tactics decks. The most popular deck that the opponent is using is a Tactics deck. Since my deck is weak against it, I imagine that we've actually already lost. However, let's play it out anyways. Let's see exactly what our opponent can do. If he uses cards like Bribery, if he uses anything that says draw tactics from the deck, he is in fact a tactics deck. He also cancels out my +8 ability, making my unit hand boosted. So Nausicaa Sergeant and Magni Division are 2 4-cost cards, which, to be honest, are very, very powerful. Almost every faction has a unit which is get stronger every turn, the card. Like, my Neckers are that, because they have Thrive and they're at 1. However, with Nausicaa Sergeant and Magni Division, it's much more consistent than the other races. That works for me. Do you have Gimpy Gerwin is the question I would ask. At this point, I guess I want to use him, because I want to increase my deck's consistency. So, he does have a couple units which they only have range 1. But if he uses... fuck it. I'm just going to play this here. If he has them, I'm going to need to play here soon anyways, I bet. I can eat Goliath to give a 13 strength card if I need to. Okay, so he's got both of them. That's fine. At this point, if he uses Gimpy Gerwin, I won't be too bad off. If I thought ahead, I maybe should have thrown out this. I should have thrown out them first turn and them next turn, because that way I could have killed the Nausicaa. I actually could have killed the Nausicaa first turn. If I lose because of that, that's why. And that's just a silly thing that I didn't think of until now. Oh well.
Of course, as you wish, master.
This is the deck I'm least familiar with, so I'm not used to thinking on lines like these. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Let's throw out an alpha. I want to keep this werewolf for... Oh, I don't have a boost, so it's not that important. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to keep this here. Yeah. I'm still gaining quite a lot per turn.
This could hurt.
Okay. So he's scared of these. That's alright. So let's put this here. Throw him. Add him. That should help.
Fight for the Emperor and you might
Ouch.
be freed.
Alright. Huh. With that in mind, what should I do? I suppose I should have definitely killed him as soon as possible. So that was my biggest misplay. I'm going to... I would very much like something in my deck to be gone, specifically that Goliath, so that way I can eat it later. So I'm going to play this. And eat him. All I need to do is play a 5 strength card. Can I target anyone? No, I can't. I have to target an enemy. Luckily, I can do 3 damage, so that's nice. Do I want to damage him? If he doesn't boost it next turn, then I can kill it with the Drowner. Yeah, seems like as good a thing as anything. And that's gonna kill this. Now we are once again in the same position as before.
The Nordling's hatred for us.
Ouch. That was a strong play. Alright. So now I gotta break it down. He really, really doesn't want me to win this. But he might be willing to if I do something like this. Yeah, if I move this guy here, he might not want to play a card. Interesting. So now he is at... Okay. Now if I was to play this, I would be 1 down. If I play this and then I play this, I will win depending upon what he draws. And I'm okay waiting. Down your last card, sir. Alright. I'm okay with that. I made him waste a very powerful hand. I know that he's not a tactics deck, and I managed to keep my strongest card in my hand. If I play this now, I'll get up 41, 42, 43. It'll be 43 to 46. So I need to pass here. If I had killed this, I actually would have won. So, if I had killed the Nausicaa Sergeant as soon as I could, I actually would have won this. The extra points that he got off that won him the round. So that was a misplay that cost me the entire... That could have cost me the entire game if him playing last is actually what wins him the game. Let's see if he chooses to press me here. That would probably be a game-losing play on his part. So if he doesn't do that, I want to use Drowner, because Drowner is a good card to use just to win the round. He just decided to play out. It's a reasonable thing to do. So Drowner. And now I just need to outpower him. He's probably going to have a lot of killing cards. if he was a splash deck, this would be like one of the worst situations for him, because he really needs... Oh, no, that's not true. He could probably still set up. Okay. So I have 3 cards to go. Let's see, what are the best cards that I could get in this entire deck? I only have 1 card that I really want to revive, so that's a shame. But nonetheless, I think I could still do with slightly better cards than what I got. I don't really want this. Cool. This is a 5 strength card. This is technically a 5 strength card. Do I need an immune card? It would be good to play an immune card first since I won the last round. Do I need a Cyclops? If he plays... No, I really don't. Yeah, replace the Cyclops a 5 strength card with a 4 strength card, technically a 7 strength. So that's pretty good. I'm going to play a werewolf first, because he can't interact with it, unless he chooses to play a card that says sacrifice a creature, in which case he'll only go with 4. And there's the fucking Magni division that I mentioned. Alright, so this time I will try to not make the same mistake, and I will murder that as much as possible. Interesting. Well, I chose the right card. Now let's see if we can make up for that. Alright. So he has a very low cost cards in his deck. For what it is. He has doubles, so he can't be a shoot deck. He has this card, he has Unicorn, he definitely has Chironex. I actually don't know what his win condition is. Is he a infantry deck? It's possible. I hope he kills this. Oh no, actually I don't need it. I don't need this to die. I have Goliath. Nonetheless, this is the best card to put out first. He's going to be able to kill my strongest creature no matter what I do. So he's going to be able to kill this unless... he's going to be able to kill this card unless he uses something to kill this in advance. I got extremely unlucky. Well, I mean... So... Now I know his win condition. He just showed me it. If I had, this guy in my hand, he would have drawn Nithrol instead. Or no, he would have drawn Osril instead, which would be just as bad, but I would be able to kill this. So everything's the worst. Now he's ahead by 1. I have 2 cards. He's going to be able to kill one of them. But still I must play on. So that was his win condition. Ihwarakix into Tibor.
It's not too late to walk away.
Oh my god, he had 2 win conditions. So this card will allow him to draw 1 extra card more than me. So since our difference in power is 5, unless... Oh, this might be enough to win anyways, but I doubt it. He's probably going to win off that card, because I don't have enough control. Something that Nilfgaard is quite good at doing... Oh! Oh my god, I've never seen this deck before. So allow me to be astounded by how cool this is to me. Okay. He gets to get an entirely new card. He gets to choose what card goes to the top. Oh, he gets to choose a thing that kills it. Oh! Oh, this deck works really well! I still won, because he actually has to wait for my turn to end in order to kill with the Rot Tosser. So we needed the Rot Tosser before he used Isabel in order to make it work. But damn, that's a really cool deck. Oh my god. Neat. Huh. I think I might try using that. Is it better than the Tactician deck? Oh well. But that is my version of Big Monsters. It's a bit more control heavy than a normal version of Big Boys. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time with an analysis on what makes a good Gwent deck in my opinion. See y'all!